By the power of Grayskull.
Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and we're back with some more Mecard. Today we're taking a look at Mecard Octa. This is one of 4 Mecard that Mattel just sent me to go over, so let's get into it. One thing you'll notice about the package right away is how Mecard Octa's vehicle mode looks pretty much exactly the same as Wingtalk, and that would be no coincidence. That is because Octa uses a very similar transformation method, although there are a few things that set Octa's transformation apart from that, partially being the gigantic Grayskull skull face you have here in front of you. Anyway, we have here Mecard Octa Deluxe, and it comes with, it has the Mugan card. Mugan is the giant sort of silly ogre monster that is fought in the first episode, and I think was recently taken by Isabel in the cartoon. So let's take a look at the back of the box. Pretty standard fare. We have, of course, Octa showing its rolling, then transforming and fighting against Ural because, you know, Ural just can't catch a break. So, let's take a look inside. What? 2 Octos? What is going on here? Well, like I said before, one of these is Wingtalk, but can you tell the difference between the two? Both of them have sort of that same shade of blue, although from what I can tell, Octo's is a bit, just a slight tinge greener, although the way to easily tell them apart is the headlights. Wingtalk here, this one is Wingtalk, and Wingtalk has the yellow headlights, whereas Octo has these sort of snazzy green ones. Also, Wingtalk has the red brake lights, while Octo's are orange. You can kind of tell the difference right here. So, here's a look at Octo's vehicle mode. Now, Octo's vehicle mode, just like Wingtalk, it is very large and bulky compared to a lot of the other Mecardimals out there. It is very similar with that sort of sleek, high-speed design, complete with the fins in the back, although you can tell that the seams are also in a slightly different location, ones that allow this grille to form in a complete shape, unlike with Wingtalk, where the seams in his design, whichever version you're looking at, actually alters how it looks. So, it's similar to Wingtalk in most ways. It has a nice, fairly flush background, although this one, compared to Wingtalk, is a real pain to transform, so let's have a look at that. And here is Octo transformed. It is a bit different from Wingtalk. For example, you can see that his 2 large tentacles, which were made out of the sides of the car, are instead flat on the ground, other than like Wingtalk, who has them suspended in the air. He also has a much more vertical posture, and of course he has these extra tentacles that come out the side here, complete with this gigantic Grayskull face here. I'm allowed to say Grayskull, right? It's a Mattel product. It's He-Man! It's a He-Man villain! Or is it Skeletor? I don't know. It's either way. But it's very similar. We, of course, have the latch up here, which grabs the card. We have a little kickstand in the back that supports him and keeps him from falling over. And, of course, over here we have our allegiance symbol. I just got to mention, everything's really nice in that sort of green and yellow. It's not quite as poppy as the bright orange we got on Wingtalk, but still pretty nice. And we have Red Hall, 2 Red Halls in a row. So I now have 3 from Black Mirror, or I guess they're called Black Reef now. I now have 2 blue and 2 red. So I'm getting fairly balanced on my Mecardimals here. If I get another blue and another red in the remaining 2 that I have, that means I'll have a solid team of 3 for each organization. That's pretty neat. So he's got this big old flappy skull head. That is just the big part of it. It kind of, in my opinion, it sort of actually overwhelms the design a little bit, having this gigantic skull. Although I guess that's part of the interest curve, but it's just this huge, bright and colorful object that just overwhelms everything else about the design. And speaking of the design, one thing I mentioned before is that it's a little difficult to transform him because you actually have to like rock these side parts back a bit, tuck in the kickstand, and then bring in the tentacles. I know I made that look easy, but it was not as easy the first time I did it. So that is a look at Octo. It is yet another one of the Mecardimals. This one is a Red Hall version of Octo. I believe, along with the cards, everything that comes with these characters is random. And as for the cards I of course got Mugan, a kind of weak card that allows you to peek at 2 cards on the field. We got a Mirane card, which allows you to move 1 and peek at 1. This is the same one I got before. And we have a Prince Kong, which allows you to rotate 2 cards if one of your if your capture is Prince Kong. Otherwise, you get to rotate just one. I think I've gotten some of these cards before. They're starting to repeat a little bit. Oh, well, that's not really a problem. You basically have 3 cards per Mecardinal, and then you get the Mecardinals in each of the 3 lands. So you get some pretty decent variety there. So that is a look at Octo. I'm sad I don't have any Octo cards to match his look here, but that is another look at a Mecard with a gigantic face. So until next time, if you want to see more Mecard, I'm going to be doing a ton of Mecard videos. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to join my notification squad. And if you really like what I do, consider supporting me on Patreon. I just put up a great video about Pokemon versus Digimon that comes out of early access in about a day, but you get the drift. Until next time, this is a look at Octo from Mecard by Mattel, and this is Kohdok signing off. By the power of Grayskull!
I am Adam, Prince of Eternia and defender of the secrets of Castle Grayskull. This is Cringer, my fearless friend. Fabulous secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword and said, "By the power of Grayskull!"